Hello, everyone, and welcome. As the defense supply chain evolves, foundational cybersecurity is no longer enough. And today we're exploring the step up to CMMC Level 2 compliance, moving past basic hygiene into a structured, policy-driven security management program. So let's break down exactly what this means for your organization. And just as an added note, whether or not your CMMC Level 2 requirement is to be assessed by a certified third party organization, or whether you're to be self assessed, these controls still need to be in place. And your requirements are still they're still valid based on government policy and law. So depending on your requirements from the primes, from the government contracts that you have, the CMMC Level 2 is still in place, even with recent changes in the program. Before we jump in, let's talk a little bit about CyberCare Pro. We have a passion for working with small and medium-sized businesses. We recognize that small and medium-sized businesses are have the highest risk of not being able to recover from incidents. And so our goal is to support and focus in on solution sets for small and medium-sized businesses that are right-sized and that are accessible for all. A little bit of background on myself. My name is Marguerite Fleming. I am one of the directors of CyberCare Pro. I have over 25 years in the technology industry, having started at IBM. I am a part of the CMMC certified professional community. I'm in that process. I work as a BCISO, work with hundreds of clients, and have an MBA from Shulu School of Business, most importantly because it is about strategic management of technology-based businesses and connecting the requirements of the business to the technology infrastructure. So it's a great fit for what we're doing. But let's talk a little bit about CMMC Level 2. So CMMC stands for the Cybersecurity Maturity Model. Level 2, there's 3 levels. This level is a higher level, meaning that the government wants you to be able to demonstrate and prove that you can handle confidential information or controlled unclassified information, CUI. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means for your business. Why does it matter? Well, obviously, and there's a long story behind it, but CMMC Level 2 safeguards controlled and classified information. This is a strategic necessity for the government. It's not just a regulatory checkbox. The level bridges the gap between really basic foundational security and level 1, and it truly advances asset protection. And it signals a massive shift that emphasizes deep accountability, strict documentation, and a robust access control right across the board. This is in direct response. And by the way, access control and all of these measures have been in place for many, many years. It's just it hasn't been documented in the same way. And many people have not taken it as seriously as they need to. So we're excited that CMMC Level 2 is in place because cybersecurity is national security. And the goal here is to mature organizations in their cyber security control, especially when they're handling the CUI or classified information, CUI, FCI, classified information, whatever information you're handling from the government, that you're handling it in a protective way. So what exactly is CMMC Level 2? Well, it's classified advanced tier. It integrates 110 distinct security practices that align directly with NIST SP 800-171. So if you're a contractor in the defense supply industry handling CUI, this level is entirely mandatory. It pushes your organization beyond basic hygiene into a world of structured, policy-driven management. Think of your critical checkpoint before ever reaching the highest levels of level 3. So level 3 is when you are really handling very classified information. So this is on your roadmap to doing that. Very, very important as you mature as an organization, which is why CMMC is called the maturity model. So at the heart of level 2, operational security is managing identity and access. We must ensure that only authorized users, devices, and processes can touch sensitive systems. And to achieve this, we implement the principle of least privilege, restricting users to the minimum permissions needed to fulfill their specific roles. We also enforce a strict separation of duties to prevent internal abuse. In practice, this architecture relies heavily on multi-factor authentication, endpoint verification, and regular rigorous reviews of your access lists. Equally vital is protecting administrative access and overall system integrity. So let's be blunt. The mismanagement of privileged and admin accounts remains one of the leading causes of devastating data breaches, with too many examples to list here. So to mitigate this risk, you have to enforce clear policies regarding credential use while monitoring and logging every single admin action. This approach aligns perfectly with what they call a zero trust philosophy. The fundamental assumption is that no user or device is inherently trustworthy, meaning we must verify on a continuous basis. Now, compliance is not a destination. We have to move completely beyond viewing cybersecurity as a one-time project. And true security requires fostering a continuous cyber awareness and employee training alongside regular access reviews, meticulous incident documentation, um, and um, and really an understanding and building a culture of cyber awareness. So we have to treat compliance as an ongoing evolution. It's not a finish line. Checking off that you have all these measures in place doesn't mean that your responsibility is over, obviously. It just means it's started. So doing so bridges that communication, the documentation bridges the communication gap between the IT teams, the internal management, and external regulators. So while it requires effort, certification can become a competitive advantage. There has been some shifts in whether certification is an immediate requirement or not. But when you do go through the process of getting certified or having a third party verify that level 2 is enabled in your organization, it does give you an advantage. It signals to partners that your client, that and your clients, honestly, that you take data security seriously and that you've invested in it. It positions you to meet strict government and defense contractual requirements, and it heavily enhances your market competitiveness. Ultimately, it provides your business with a clear, disciplined roadmap for auditable security management. So to wrap this up, in the modern landscape, data is just as valuable as currency, and we must protect it accordingly. CMMC Level 2 is your blueprint for a secure, resilient future. And we achieve this resilience through tightly controlled access and proactive system management. Remember, cybersecurity is no longer just an IT issue. It is a shared responsibility across the entire enterprise. So with that, I say thank you for your time, and let's continue building a more resilient supply chain. If there is any questions, or if you'd like to learn a little bit more about how your organization can become CMMC Level 2 certified, please don't hesitate to reach out. We look forward to hearing from you.